go.
Are we jumping in?
Yes, indeed we are. We've been given the green light, and it's time to get this major underway. Eternal Fire up against the Bad News Eagles, and it will be Eternal Fire. The Turks on the T side to kick things off.
Well, here we go. Take a look at the buy real quickly. Calyx, smoke a couple of flashbangs. He's got to work with your X-File with just one solitary flashbang. It looks like for the time being it's going to be fast play coming in towards Cat, the Xbox smoke, and 3 players slowly making their way in. They're going to be heading towards long as well. This could be the perfect play from the side of Eternal Fire, because just 2 defenders right now on the A-bomb site. We have Rigon playing all the way towards Car. He's got his team in the form of Synopsy towards long. And right now, one Flatro, he's just debating. Does he go back towards the A-bomb site to bolster the defense? But that being said, Eternal Fire is slowly peeling away from that. It looked like it was going to be a fast early A pinch, but now they're slowly sneaking their way back towards the B bomb side with 2 players lying with Sceneri, and it's going to be GXX to shut this one down.
They are waiting very patiently. 3 players over on Eternal Fire. They traded over one Flatro early on. Eternal Fire are taking their sweet time, though. They still got just shy of a minute left on the clock, however. Plenty of utility to burst out here with, and it looks like they're about to line it up. Here comes GXX. How many kills, if any, will he be able to block out? He needs to get at least 1 frag, but it's Sceneri coming in with 2 huge kills from towards the doors, and just like that, this push may have been shut down. There's still players spilling into the site. Emo's going to keep the dream alive. GXX gets perforated alongside Calyx, and they're holding the line. They're going on better. They're actually taking the lead in terms of manpower, and now it's all down to Synopsy, down to just the USP by his side, and Calyx takes off his head. Eternal Fire were in a 3v5, pinched across all the boards, and they still come out and win.
That's a sign of things to come, Vince. That is exactly a sign of things to come. That was a little messy, a little hectic, but Eternal Fire, they get it done. The 2 players I do believe is Woxic and Xcloud just trying to cross the double doors before the smoke blooms, and Sceneri having no trouble popping their heads, but great reaction from Calyx and Taris and Emor as well. Like you said, a 3v5, where I like what BNE were trying to do there. They were like, listen, it's a 5v3, we'll just swarm the side before they get the bomb down, because once they get the bomb planted, then suddenly the clock is against you, right? So they were trying to be a little bit more aggressive there, despite having the man advantage, but unfortunately not quite panning out. Eternal Fire with a very crucial win, because that really did look like it was going to go the way of BNE.
When those 2 first kills came down from the doors, and right, okay, bag it, target, this one's done, GXX was still alive at the back of the site, so they had to basically fend off in 2 completely separate angles to try and lock that one down. But then somehow, someway, Eternal Fire come out swinging. Emor with 2, Calyx with 2, and Zentares also pitching in with the 1. Unfortunately, match pause has been called, so as soon as we know what's going on, we will relay that one to you. But Bad News Eagles have already seemingly made their decision, and they're just going to hold fire for now in terms of a buy. They obviously may change their mind, though. May go in for a force.
I mean, wouldn't be too surprised to go for a force here. Like the usual buy would be maybe a couple of scouts coming out for the side of Bad News Eagles. The Deagles come into play as well. Again, when it comes to the scout, just a couple of tags, right? Couple of tags under the bodies. You can have the pistols finish off the wounded players as well. So that's something the BNE could work with. For the time being, though, not too sure what the pause is about. Maybe, you know, some headphones issues, mouse issues, get it sorted out early on, Vince. We know how it is. Some of these players, they even measure, they even bring a tape out to measure how far their chair is from their table. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah. And you know what? Having played FPS for so long, I totally understand it, because I'm sure we've all been in that position where nothing's changed, your sensitivity's the same, your monitor's still the same height, everything's the same. But you're in one of those funks, and everything at that point becomes a problem. You notice the smallest of issues. So having the measuring tape, making sure you're the right angle away, I'd imagine there's probably a measuring tape for how high up they're sitting, in a desk position, all these kinds of things. It's legit. It's absolutely important that you have that consistency when you play at this level, because that muscle memory is everything.
It's a far cry from back in the day, you know, when we were we lads, Vince, when we just, you know, rock up to a LAN server, just like, yeah, whatever, it feels good, it's good enough, you know, throw a couple of, at least for me, you know, a couple of cushions on my backside just so I could have a little bit more height while playing. But these guys got, like, you know, gaming chairs and gaming tables and whatnot.
Yeah, it's a far cry from when players used to go at desks and they'd have their keyboards at 90-degree angles, so there was enough space between them and their teammates. and the mouse pads were absolutely tiny. Sensitivity was off the charts. It looks like we are ready to jump back into this matchup, though. Back on the saddle, Eternal Fire 1-0 up. If you just joined us, it was a chaotic, a scrappy pistol round that lasted quite a long time. Eternal Fire were baiting multiple avenues and then decided to go back in. And Bad News Eagles, well, they've decided they are going to push the green button, and they have forced.
They have. Oh, I like this, though. The early push. Oh, that's a great nade as well. Dealing almost 100 points of damage, and now Xcloud. He's aware of the possibility of this flank, and it's going to be Scenary. He's going to find one. And oh no, Xcloud, he's going to get just completely swarmed. 3 CTs lie in wait. But now the T's, they have the information. They know at least 3 to 4 players lying in wait towards lower tunnels. A great flashbang, though, is going to blind Xantares, and suddenly this force buy from side of BNE, beg your pardon, might actually pan out.
This is just such a ridiculous round, considering they've only lost 32 HP on Scenary, and he's got it from one thing. There it is!
Flawless!
It's a force by flawless sweep. All the weapons picked up. That's AKs now and Galils across the board, and Eternal Fire into a force buy.
That is just ridiculous from Bad News Eagles, and I love it. I love how they had a game plan. They weren't just going to be, holding onto the bomb sites, playing default. We saw the first nade dealing a lot of damage. A great shot from Scenary, right? And that's when Xcloud's like, all right, there's one guy to his lower tunnel. Let me just poke in and try and catch him off guard. Instead, walking straight into the trap. And again, just the individual prowess on his BNE guys, like Scenary with the 1-deeks. Well, not technically 1-deeks, but still getting those kills, getting the job done, and that's good enough.
Yeah, and it kicked off with some great utility. You saw that HE to the top of middle, it weakened up 2 or 3 players, and then a fantastic flash as well was tossed in for good measure through on the mid side. Rigon with 2 down middle, and it's looking like it's going to be another clean up. Rigon has gone down to the hands of Deagle, and they need to tread lightly that they don't get... Oh dear. That's it's going to be fine. They can piece out of there. They need to be careful, though, that they don't just get swamped themselves. And a bit of revenge comes in for Eternal Fire. Now clumping up as 3. They still retain possession of the bomb, and they've got some decent HP bars on their players. However, considering they're up against 4 rifles, and BNE are in good spots here, it's hard to see how Eternal Fire gets this round done.
Yeah, Xantares just trying his luck, trying to land maybe a drive-by with the Deagle, but Eternal Fire doing... trying to make something work with his pistols, but unfortunately, yeah, it's a force buy as well, They went for the full commit, obviously, and for BNE, it's on making sure they don't lose any of these rifles. They just lost the 1 scout, and that's okay. Whew. Okay, completely clotheslined there, Calyx, and all down to Xcloud with Tech9 to make something work. But yeah, just getting completely shut down, not really able to kind of, push their way towards B bomb site, or maybe go for perhaps a mid-to-B play. And Xcloud, his days are numbered. He's getting just riddled through the door. And okay, he'll take that. That's a win right there, considering it's looking very unlikely for him to even get a single kill. But for the side of BNE, they're going to be very happy with that. Vince, lose the 1 rifle, the scout, that's okay. Maybe a couple of guns might be dropped. And GXX actually going for the MP9, knowing that Eternal Fire are going to be on pretty much a full eco, maybe a couple of upgraded pistols on the side of the Turkish team.
Yeah, exactly. So even though they did lose a couple of weapons at the end there, this is basically just a bonus round, just a slam dunk. It's going to be Glocks. There's no investment whatsoever apart from a flashbang here and there, and that's in the hands of Xantares. Looks like it's going to be a full long push, but this allows Rigon to go up through middle with the MP9 and scout for information, and he may have found it. I think he spotted 1 player going into long. Knowing it's a full-on eco, it stands to reason the rest of them would be alongside one another. Even if Xantares does get the drop, which he won't, it's just a Glock, so it's going to be so many bullets needed and required to deal with Rigon. He is standing up the cash with GXX. They both put down to Glock, but that's where this round is going to come to an abrupt end.
That is so unfortunate for Xantares, who's holding the angle, and even if he'd spotted GSX, I feel like GSX would have got the kill. But yeah, a couple of kills there for him with the MP9, and the big green zoom banger is going to come out to play for the side of BNE. A very, very solid start for the Kosovian Swiss side, I guess. There we go. Swiss representation.
Now, this is another issue as well. We were talking about Woxic and how important he was in Dust2. Because of this scrappy start they've had, he doesn't have an AWP. We're going into the 5th round, it's only a scout. That is going to be a consistent issue if they can't get a handle over the economy. He will not be having that same level of impact as Regon, and it's a double AWP in actual fact for BNE.
Yeah.
So you're looking at the angles they're covering here. This is looking dire, but what a shot from Woxic round the corner. One of those AWPs has now been dealt with swiftly.
He was saying maybe he'd be better off with the AWP, but the mobility with a scout able to decapitate GXX. And I'm not a big fan of that play from GXX. I know he had the AWP, but just offering an easy frag for Woxic, and you know he missed those. And Scenario playing a very dangerous game. He's going to fall on back though, trying to snatch away the AWP from the hands of Eternal Fire, is now just slowly making the way up towards short. They have a player that is Calyx watching for any long push, and now BNE looking to find some kill, something to trade, but Xantares will deny one Flatro, and now 5 versus 3 in the first proper buy round here, and a flick from Woxic won't quite land on Synopsy, but still 5v3, heavy advantage here for the side of Eternal Fire.
Regon, though, is going to deal with the CT aggression, and that allows him to take a little bit of control over middle as well. Only 30 seconds left on the clock, and there is plenty of utility, but there's only one smoke.
I love this play. I love this play. They know there's only one defender right now because Regon got that kill onto its CD spawn, and now Synopsy has so much to do. But he just said, no time. They need to make this play for the side right now.
Spray through, gets one, Xantares though with a brisk entry back on, and Regon misses a sitter. How important that could be. 13 seconds to go. Woxic though also misses alongside. It's a bit of a scrappy round right now. Regon trying to get on the cross.
No time.
Takes him down through double doors. And that is this round tied up. There is no time left for Woxic. He can only save the AK.
Oh my lord. 5v3. Then it's a 5 versus 3 for the side of Eternal Fire, and it just... I don't even know what to say there. They just took too long. They took too long. That was a right call coming in, though. They knew where Regon was. They knew it was only Synopsy playing on the B bomb side. But that smoke delayed them for so very long. And when they needed to cross, they didn't have any utility to work with. And unfortunately, the bomb carrier was Xantares, who was so very low, and he almost survived. But the final deagle shot, and that's it. No time remaining. And that is going to be a round stolen away by Bad News Eagles.
Daylight robbery. Should never have been in contention for that round, and as you said, just a little bit too slow, a little bit too labored. What we've seen from Eternal Fire a couple times already in this round, and if we're being completely honest here, Blair, on another day this should probably be a 5-0, because the pistol round was kind of stolen by Eternal Fire in the first place in a 3v5 of their own, so Bad News Eagles, they've been looking sharp.
They have. And it's not just looking shot, like some of the calls coming out from them, the rotations as well. And even go back to the second round where they went for the Force Fire, right? They seem to have a game plan in mind here, and that is what you love to see. For a lot of people, for a lot of pundits out there, Eternal Fire would slightly edge BNE, you know, based on the recent results, based on the tenure, the veterancy, some of the players on that team. But BNE, making it look good, does GXX. Trying to line up a shot. He knows there are multiple players into a short, nice flashbang to keep them at bay. A Molotov as well, but someone has knocked through, and it's going to be Calyx. And one Flatro has a lot of work to do right now as X-Spot with the Deagle finds another one, and Synopsy, though, trying to shut this one down all by his lonesome.
He's running out of ammunition, though. You can hear this magazine's about to deplete. It's on top of fire as well. Has to back away, and that's giving up a lot of room. However, Scenery has helped him out, alleviates a little bit of that pressure that's been mounting up. Synopsy in for 2 huge important kills, and that turns the tide of this round on its head. Emor all that remains, and with 15 seconds, even though he has the bomb, he still needs to reverse his way towards the B site, and Scenery says no. 5-1 now the score.
That looked a little scary there for the side of Bad News Eagles, but great recovery. And as I pointed out, right, the Synopsy, the B defender heading into its mid, right call. You could hear the rotation from the side of Eternal Fire. Nice shots coming out from Calyx and X-Cloud though, but you know, a little bit of damage being dealt, making sure the money doesn't spiral out of control for the side of Bad News Eagles. But right now they're in a 5-round streak. The double up setup is still going to be in play, but Woxic, he's finally got his hands on a Zoom banger.
He does, into the 7th round. Better late than never, but they've got to do something with this. Do you know what the other terrifying aspect of this is, though, Blair? One Flatro is yet to get off the mark. This is typically one of their guys, as we saw in the stats beforehand, with a rifle that has a lot of impact. He's not got started. So if Bad News Eagles are obliterating you 5-1 and one of their best players hasn't really shown up yet, oh my goodness, that's an ace up the sleeve and a half.
Especially on a map like Dust2, GXX trying to use his radar sensors to triangulate that shot onto Xantares, and meanwhile Regon, the lone Swiss in the major, is going to find a nice going to Calyx. Good trade coming out from Woxic though. now, Regon getting taken down. Just defender on the A bomb site. Can see the rotation already taking place, leaving Synopsy, the sole kind of like defender of the mid and the B bomb site. So he has a lot of responsibility on his shoulders if Eternal Fire do opt to head towards the B bomb site. But the way they're posturing right now with 50 seconds on the clock, it does look like it's going to be a hit coming in from short.
BNE realizing that short could be aggressive on taking the long control, allowing them the best opportunity of a retake. And that being said, if you don't get that chance, man, Flatro through the smoke, perforating the first kill, does get traded back. Great shot from GXX. And once again, Eternal Fire are clambering and desperately crawling their way towards the site. Grenade is looking good for damage, and it shreds half for Xfloud, but he does successfully get the bomb planted down. Synopsy, up with that A1S, is creeping, trying his best to get that first pick. It's late, but he gets punished for it. Woxic should not be alive right now. And suddenly it's down to a 2-on-2. Good shot from GXX. They expect a double peek on the boxes. No, and Xfloud will punish with one, but there is GXX. Eternal Fire may get the plant, but they won't get the round. And I think there's going to be a bit of a brow just wiped away with that sweat, because Woxic should never be able to flick back and get that kill.
They're so lucky they're laughing about that whiff instead of just rowing it, because that should have been a free kill right there. Great reaction from Woxic though, but GXX with the AWP, crucial kills coming out from him. For the side of Eternal Fire though, they're able to like kinda take away a few guns, but still money isn't that terrible for the side of BNE right now, and especially when it's 6-1 up, you're feeling mighty comfortable. For the side of Eternal Fire though, a little bit of a tactical timeout getting called, and I think it's the right time. When you're 6-1 down here on Dust2, a map that you should be kind of favored on, yeah, you want to take a quick timeout, decide what's going wrong here. But I want to give credit where it's due. I'm loving this constant re-aggression coming out from BNE. They're moving on the map very, very solidly. A lot of faith being placed in Synopsy as well. In case if it's going to be a little bit of pressure being exerted by Eternal Fire towards A, you can see the immediate rotation of all the defenders towards mid and B. And Synopsy's like, you know what, you guys go ahead, just bolster the A bomb side defense. I got B, I got mid, and it's doing a great job. But now the buy is going to be coming out again. Woxic once more having to wheel the scout, and the double up setup still in play for BNE.
I think you also show that momentum that we were discussing before, the confidence that brings to the table. You have the utmost confidence in your teammates to perform their rotations correctly and to have full faith in their ability to just hold angles. How to go for these more audacious plays. Now they have a lead as well. It's just been working out so well. Smoke down onto long. Seneri behind it with the A1S is keeping so many teams busy.
Paris in the meantime, making quite a bit of noise towards mid. So for BNE, they are aware. There's pressure towards long. They know they have someone towards mid. They're going for a heavy setup towards mid. Just two defenders towards A. There's a great flash in Seneri. Oh, he's not going to be blinded anymore, but he will be taken up by Calyx, leaving only one Flatro hiding around the smoke. He can hear all the noise being made here, and he's going to find one. Yes, he will, but Woxic will pluck his head clean off his shoulder as GXX in the meantime playing a very, very wild game, and Xantares will put him down. This looks like finally a round going the way of Eternal Fire, unless Regon can pull off a 1v4, which looks unlikely, Vince.
Unlikely, but not impossible, and he is on 10 kills already, so he's feeling pretty confident. The problem, though, is you can see the bottom line is $250 by his side.
Yep.
With this saved AWP, they can easily buy again should he lose it. That may not be the case, and I love this. You'd think it's 6-1, the confidence is high, you believe in yourself, you're in a major, you want to pull off that really magical moment. Now, play for the team. Play for the guaranteed economy going forward. Yes, Eternal Fire. Oh, I say that, and he's just been absolutely smashed by Calyx. I like the idea, though. And Eternal Fire, they do take their second round.
Took a while, but they get it done. I like that. There was nothing complicated about the play. Just a long hit and a simultaneous push towards short. And I felt like that defense towards long could have been a little bit better. That's a nasty shot from Calyx Spider. That is just filled. But the long hole, it felt a little discombobulated as opposed to what we've seen from them thus far. It looked a little rough, but because of the amount of economic damage that Eternal Fire had inflicted upon BNE, despite the rounds they lost, you can see now, no double loss, not even a singular AWP for the side of the Soviet team.
This is a rough one, and this is a golden ticket back in for Eternal Fire.
I like this,
They take this, and they're going to be breaking Bad News Eagles. However, as you pointed out, the aggression through on the B side offers so much information early on. This fact-finding mission has been so valuable. Whether they can do anything behind this or not, though, is yet to be seen, because they have very little utility of their own. It's just smokes, no flashes, no incendiaries on the side of Bad News Eagles. If they can see this bomb plant, that could be it. One Flatro back on Gandalf going to try and ensure there will be no survivors, but he's gone down first, and in doing so, Zantara's now going to open up with a spray lot of damage done towards the catwalk side. The smoke is affording safe passage for Eternal Fire, who are looking to dial in their third consecutive round here. Synopsy, in the meanwhile, though, is going to keep them honest, and going to keep that economy a little bit lower. And with Seneri, this made a way back into this round. Alex has taken the head of Seneri and made it his, and Synopsy will fall straight afterwards.
That's a huge round from Eternal Fire. I love how they dotted their I's, they crossed the T's right, that they headed towards the A bomb site, and we could see Xantares immediately Molotov off Gandalf, ensuring that there's no one lurking behind, you know, that no one going to be just popping out the moment they plant the bomb. So great round from Eternal Fire. The tactical time had really working out for them. And suddenly, the momentum, even though it was 6-1, Vince, now it's completely, I'd say, shifted in the favor of the Turkish side. That being said, it's going to be just the pistols. Unfortunately for BNE, they only have the USPs. And it is extremely, one of the rarest things in Counter-Strike, in professional Counter-Strike, when the USPs come out on top, especially against a full buy.
Oh, yeah. It has to be some kind of stack. We've seen Astralis do this in the past, of course. Astralis stack Inferno. It has to be shenanigans, and it has to be, let's be honest, the team's also completely butchering the round. And they are not doing that just yet. The only playing is going on to CT. Synopsy, though, is going to come back with one, but that is a Mac 10, not with the rifles that is dropped, and so Eternal Fire are completely fine with the outcome.
Yeah, and for Emor, it was also the fact, like, they knew it was going to be a farm round, right? So he gets a couple of kills in a Mac 10, that's a little bit of money in the bank as well, $1,200. And Eternal Fire, 6-1, they're 6-4, and you blink and you miss it. They're just like that, they're back in the game, back in this opening matchup against BNE, but now the buy is going to be coming in for Bad News Eagles once more. No AWP again, though. They hemorrhaged too much money earlier on in some of the rounds they won, but this is interesting. A 4-man early presence towards long. That's something they've never tried yet. Completely leaving mid wide open. It's only Synopsy on the B bomb side, and he just turtled up there. So for Eternal Fire, there is, obviously, they don't know it, but there is a huge avenue for them to try and go for this mid to B split, which could definitely pretty much 100% guarantee themselves around. Obviously, they can't see what we can. And for Eternal Fire, despite the fact that they showed, BNE, despite the fact that they showed a little presence towards long, they didn't show the full hand, right? They're like, all right, there are a couple of players here. You want to test us? Go for it. And that's because BNE have been kind of been exploited a couple of times already on this A bomb site.
I love the call as well, because let's be honest, Eternal Fire have been very slow on their team. So far, Seneri just sprays down 2, and it could have been more, and it will be more. There's a third, not quite a fourth. He runs out of ammunition, he's done his job. He has completely shut down this long side, and now all that remains is X-Floud with 14 HP to his name, and the players of BNE will be hungry to take on that AWP, but it's going to need GXX to put the final nail on the coffin. Great hold on long, though. Perfect play.
Yeah, just the timing on the peak. It was just standing in the fire and the flames as well, completely dismantling that A hit. And great read from from BNE. They knew Eternal Fire were probably going to be going for this A split once more in Scenario, almost finding the fourth. And the AWP as well getting retrieved and going to be dropped and handed over to the very capable hands of GXX. Things looking still pretty even Stevens, and for the side of Eternal Fire, the few rounds they won back to back to back, they were very convincing rounds. That's why you take a look at the money right now, they are flush with cash, so they can pretty much go for whatever buy they want. And for BNE, you know, sure, they won that round, but again, CD side, you got to rebuy all your utility, all the equipment, and that means the money, it's no longer close to what it was, you know, like 4 or 5 rounds prior. So they're going to try and kind of re-establish the economy a little bit. Still a few rounds remaining here in this first half. And in all honesty, it's anyone's game right now.
BNE have done a great job as well of keeping Eternal Fire in a bit of an awkward position. There's the 4 players stacked on long once again. And will Eternal Fire punish them for it this time? As you said, though, they didn't really necessarily know that was the case, so it's hard to punish something that you don't have intel on.
Absolutely. And that is something which Bad News Eagles are hoping is going to be taking place. GXX tries to time the shot, but Emo's gonna find him, and Synopsy just might fall to his death, and there we go, X-Flood lying in wait, and just like that, 1 minute and 25 seconds on the clock, and it's a 5v3 favoring the side of Eternal Fire.
Got to give Eternal Fire and Woxic in particular a lot of credit here because they have made some great adjustments, waiting outside of B for that push, waiting for the rotation through a middle. Now there could be another one to deal with here. Regon could have a couple of frags. The bomb's been spilled as well. That's so awkward. He doesn't know that Woxic is just below him though. And he has to try and take a gamble play. When you're this far behind in terms of manpower, you have to try and gamble stack. And now xCloud leading the charge over onto B, and they realize this is pretty much empty. Bomb's been retrieved as well, so it looks like this round is going to start to come to a conclusion.
It's kind of crazy how none of Eternal Fire actually stuck around towards lower tunnels to help out Woxic, because Woxic got found there. That's a bomb down, and suddenly it's a 2 versus 3 in a very uncomfortable spot. So Woxic, the hero, not taking the fight, just legging it with the C4 picked up on his back, and that's going to be Eternal Fire again. Just able to... The rounds they've won thus far have been this early couple of kills they get, and then able to convert the 3v5s, right? Sure, they lost a couple of rounds where they did have the player advantage, but whenever they're getting the opening picks, they have looked very solid. And great play as well. Once again, they get the opening pick, Emor finding GXX, that's a huge find, and they knew immediately it's going to be Synopsy. I like what Synopsy did there, you know, trying to get a little bit of real estate back for his team, but just good basic default coming up in Eternal Fire, leaving a player lying in wait towards upper tunnels, and I do believe that was xCloud, so having no trouble winning that. And for BNE, because the money was still not in a great place, they have to go for the save, and even with the save, it's still not a pretty position here for the CTs. They will have to compromise maybe with the weaponry or perhaps a little bit of utility. Looking at M4A1s coming out, that means the utility will be slightly sparse on a couple of players, but overall, not too shabby at all. A pretty solid buy.
Definitely a buy that you can make work. However, Eternal Fire are on the precipice once again of breaking down the Bad News Eagles and starting to run towards the rest of this half in a pretty solid position. Synopsy, not for the first time in the back box. Wasn't able to get too much done in the pistol, but is this his moment to shine? They've picked up the pace, but it damage as he goes up and down. Regon's there to help him out, and there's flashes up and over. The smoke is good. It will afford safe passage for Synopsy, and they're watching the rotation as well. Though Zatares, there's one, can't double up with a second, and that could have been the round falling as a result. 12 HP left on Ceneri. Needs to try and come out of the flames, try and come out of the fire and pull off something special, but maybe Synopsy has this all alone, and he bags himself a 14th frag and another round for his team.
How does he stay alive? How the hell does he stay alive on the B bomb side with all the chaos transpiring around him? Just incredible composure coming out of Synopsy, right? They used a Molotov, he preemptively smoked it off, just doing his very best to stay alive, because the play there is like his teammates are going to be coming in trying to help him out. As long as he stays alive though, that means for Eternal Fire, they need to be wary of the fact that he can pop out any moment from the smoke and completely ruin their lives. So great round coming out from Synopsy, and now Eternal Fire, a little bit of a switch up with the pace, going for a fast hit towards A, and the 3 players lying in wait. The flashback is fantastic. xCloud though, with a great transfer, finds Regon, and suddenly 2 versus 3, player advantage for the side of Eternal Fire.
Exquisite hold from Eternal Fire in the end as they were just pushing through that smoke. Love that they're mixing up the pace. Love that they're trying to catch Eternal Fire, or Bad News Eagles, I should say, off guard. And so far, that has certainly been the case in round 14. However, there is a fast flank round the side. Synopsy, up through middle, is watching for that retreat. Looking for a bit of reprieve. There's still so much time left on the clock as well. The Eternal Fire don't have to fully force their way in. They must realize that both players are going to be watching this long side. GXX has his AWP pushed up on towards the site itself, just on the elevator, and may come head-to-head with Woxic momentarily. It feels like a good, well-placed flash is going to be required to deal with him, or perhaps that wall of smokes, but Emor is going in first. This pick could be everything for Eternal Fire, and they needed to go their way. However, there is the wall of smokes shooting through the middle. Here's the offer of GXX. He looks to try and push away. The spray is not on point. Synopsy is punished, survives on 19 HP, somehow still alive in this round. 2-on-2 as xCloud's going to go through the smoke. Back goes, sprays them both down, and additionally picks up a 4K in the round.
That's a BDP, Vince. Just walking in through the smoke. There's no way B&E were expecting that, and just a great transfer to close it out as well. This was xCloud all around. Like, he gets the opening 2 kills towards long great transfer, and then, yeah, GXX and Synopsy. No way in hell were they expecting him to walk in through the smoke. And honestly, like, you look at players like Xantares and Calyx and Woxic, and it's xCloud, in my opinion, who's been the X factor for the side of Eternal Fire in this half.
Especially these last few rounds, he's really come alive. And that's another reason why Eternal Fire are not a team to be trifled with. The amount of talent they have across the roster, xFloud and Emor, two of the more unknown elements of this team, they can absolutely carry their weight. They can pull their weight and then some. And the last round of this half, we'll see Bad News Eagles in a really grim buy. However, they did more with less. Obviously, it will be a double peak, though, with the Emor man that picks up the frag. It's looking like this half is going to come to a close with the Turkish hand being raised. However, Bad News Eagles would still have a lead going into that second half, and it may not be done just yet.
A one-round lead for BNE, but still not done yet. We can never count these guys out, but it has been a pretty quiet half, honestly, from Juan Flatro, but not a quite round from Synopsy. Great shot in Xantares, but they won't be expecting this. They won't be expecting Calyx sneaking his way from around, rapping, taking his sweet time. Time is not their friend, though. They need to hurry on up, and Calyx is going to be a shooting gallery. Maybe not, still a 2v3, but it looks like the round's done here.
Tenerife is going to keep the dream alive for a couple more moments before Woxic closes his eyes permanently for the rest of this half. 8-7. We thought this game would be close. It has delivered, but it's been a bit of a scrappy back and forth half. For anyone just joining, you think, right, 8-7 is pretty much par for the course. Keep in mind, at one point, this was 6-1 in favor of Bad News Eagles, and they were looking like they were just going to run away with this game.
I mean, 6 rounds out of the last 8 is nothing to scoff at. Like, fantastic resurgence coming out from the side of Xantares and the Merry Men. And just like overall, you know, it wasn't anything too complicated. They just used the A-bombs like time and time again. Coming on top multiple times, it was duels towards long. Mainly a lot of battles being fought towards long, right? And it was just Eternal Fire kind of exploiting what could be, I guess, a little bit of a weakness on the side of BNE. But here we go. Second half coming in. It is pretty much tied up, in my opinion. 8-7, the pistol round. It goes without saying it's going to be instrumental. And I like this aggression from Xantares, all by his lonesome, holding towards mid. It's slowly going to peel away. But for BNE, they're all grouped up inside of tunnels. All 5 players, Vince. In the meantime, for Eternal Fire, 2 players inside of B, and they also have Xantares right side of double dose. He's even got a flash primed and ready. This could be a slaughter.
It really could be, and it should be, to be fair, but there's a good counter flash tossed in as well from BNE, and that's allowed them safe passage to push in. Now the kill's coming down. Xantares, Emor, and Emor again is able to just lock in position. Patro has no XP left, but does bag himself one before his inevitable capture from Eternal Fire, and they have now tied us up at 8-8, but their economy is going to start to get into an interesting position, and Bad News Eagles, keep in mind, they didn't even get a bomb plant player. Their options are very, very minimal.
Just went for the fast B hit. They had to just wait out the smoke, and they walked into the trap. There were 3 players lying in wait. We had Xantares with a flashbang. We saw he tosses it in, lobs it in, and Emor doing a great job towards Kara, staying alive and just whittling away. The shots weren't clean, I won't lie, but in the end, they get the job done. Just barely any casualties as well. And now for Eternal Fire, they won both the pistol rounds. They need to ensure they don't get eco this time, but as you pointed out, no bomb plant, so that means just going to be the Glocks and maybe a P250, but they're getting hunted down, and suddenly things are looking very dicey. Is it going to happen again, Vince?
Not again. Eternal Fire, guys. Like, this is a completely different ball game as well. This is Glocks just rushing at you. You've got all of the advantages. And Emor's going to try and spray. Gets one great headshot. Molly tossed up and over. Could stall this bomb plant a little bit longer. And the bomb's gone down in a very awkward position. They're looking to divide and conquer the remaining of the Bad News Eagles. Bobbing and toing and throwing. But Synopsy's lost his head. And now it's down to GXX. Picked up the kill with the MP9 previously. Now has the scout. Can he deliver? With it is the question. There's the first tag. He's getting multiple chances here to pop up and shoot. And they haven't dealt with it just yet. 25 HP becomes 0. And Eternal Fire get to their 9th round, but Blair, I'm just thinking, can they even take that as a victory? You're against Glocks, and you lost 3 players.
I don't even know how they're hitting some of the shots they were hitting there, right? Like the P250 dealing quite a bit of damage. And for Bad News Eagles, that's a win. That is an absolute win of a round. Just with a couple of upgraded pistols, able to get the bomb down, take away 3 guns as well from Eternal Fire, and we have the buy coming in. For Eternal Fire, though, despite the losses they suffered the previous round, they will still be able to come out with a very solid buy. And for BNE, the open hand GXX. We saw what he can do to CD side. T side, though, has got to be a little bit more impactful. I'm still waiting for one Flutter to wake up because he's a star of this team. He's a guy who carried them through the RMR to the major, and thus far, 4 and 12 is very uncharacteristic of this player.
They have 3 players that are well over double digits here. Synopsy 17, Regon 15, Cettery 14, and Flatro down to 4. And if it sounds like we're being harsh, it's just because this guy is typically one of the players you're looking at to be one of the heavy lifters on this team. And so it makes you think, like, if he does wake up from his slumber, then that's where things get really interesting for Bad News Eagles. They can regain the lead, they can get that momentum back underway. Eternal Fire, though, it seems like they're starting to get a little bit ahead of steam here. Even though that was a rough previous round, if they can just dial this one in fairly convincingly, that last round simply will not matter.
Oh, the double nade. Ooh, Regon down to 7 HP. Scenario as well getting tagged down pretty heavily. The double nade from Xantares. And he's doing a great job just keeping them at bay. It was looking like an A pincer, but it looks like right now BNE are having second thoughts about this. Still waiting. Now all 5 members grouped up. There's no presence towards long either, so they're going to keep a player towards mid. Synopsis is going to be lurking towards lower tunnels, maybe looking to cut off the rotation, while 4 members are going to be heading the way towards A bomb site. But they need to make a little bit of pace here, Vince. And it is all but a ruse. It's a ruse towards A bomb site, but it's going to be a B split coming in. But 28 seconds, they're running out of time.
Running out of time, but they have kept the dream alive with Regon's big AWP kill. Another player to deal with, though, it's going to be X-Flower. He has been the man, the absolute powerhouse on this Turkish team, but he has been sent packing by Synopsy. There's enough time to get this plant down, and it's gone from bad to worse on the side of Eternal Fire. They've lost Calyx, they've lost the bomb, and now it falls into a 2v3 retake, and they've already decided to pull the plug. They're out of here.
That was some high-octane calling coming out from BNE. The way they were just pivoting back, it looked like it was going to be an A pincer early on, and then they fall back to a short, a little bit of a ruse towards the A bomb site, and going for the mid to be split with, like, what, 28 seconds remaining on the clock. It looked like things were kind of falling apart. We even saw the bomb getting dropped towards mid, but great recovery there from BNE. On the buy round, just losing a couple of players as well. For Eternal Fire, well, money's not great at all, Vince, because we've got to remember the second round here in the second half, they've lost 3 players. The money was never in a good place heading into this buy round, and now with the 2 rifles saved, I'd imagine they're just going to be going for maybe a couple of upgraded pistols, perhaps trying to work around the 2 rifles they have saved. Oh, they're going for the force. They're going for this. See a FAMAS coming out to play for X-Cloud. We have the scout in the hands of Emor, so they're going to try and work with the 2 rifles they have. But that means I want to see something a little bit more, I wouldn't say gimmicky, but a little bit more aggressive, right? Try and be a little bit more mobile, a little bit more in your face. It's going to be Synopsy looking to challenge Woxic, but at the moment the smoke blooms, Woxic is going to pluck his head clean off his shoulders.
Yeah, beautiful shot, and really just gives Eternal Fire that chance, because they've been able to pick up the extra weapon, and in doing so, with the AK in the hands of Calyx, this round becomes very interesting indeed. Bad News Eagles trying to get down middle, but Emor is here waiting and anticipating this play to come in. You said they needed to go aggressive, they did, they got the reward, but can they dial it in now? Spray is good from Regon, did take a stray shot down to 28, he will fall, but mid-control now falls away from Eternal Fire.
The defense is split though for Eternal Fire, right? You just have Woxic playing towards A bomb site, and he's got Calyx all the way towards long. So right now Woxic has a lot of work to do. These other 2 teammates committed to a B bomb site. So this 2-2 defense, if it doesn't work out, if Woxic doesn't get a couple of kills here, this round should go the way of BNE. But time, again, 45 seconds is still a little bit of time to work with, and you can see the execute coming in from BNE.
That grenade is damaged. Oh, so much travel in the kneecaps, but can't capitalize. When Flatro comes around the corner, deals that frag, and Calyx also falls down to Regon.
That's a round.
Another round where Eternal Fire were looking like they could have got it done, and the trades just work against them.
Look at how low they are. 1 Flatro, 18 HP, Regon on 1. I genuinely thought he was just done for there. X-Cloud at least able to find Regon, and that's an AK-47 upgrade he will take. A little surprised Regon was looking for the hunt, considering how low he was, just internally bleeding out, but he will get get punished for it, but still, for BNE, they get back to the winning ways, they get into the lead. And as you pointed out, Vince, just the duel's not going the way, right? We saw the nade from Wox. It was a perfectly timed nade. He goes for a bit of a wild spray through the smoke, and obviously, AK-47, you can see the traces, you can triangulate where he is from the sound it's being made as well. So one Flatro with a blinder of a shot through the smoke, and then, yeah, once losing player holding long, that was Calix, who should have got that kill. Round was pretty much done there. It all kind of spiraled out of control with Eternal Fire the moment they lost a player towards mid. When Emor falls, it splits the defense completely in half, and they just have to go for this gamble two-man hold towards A and towards B. And actually, one Flutter actually having good vision there. Again, because of the one-way smoke, it's a kind of a standard in modern-day Counter-Strike. You just kind of throw that smoke towards the boost boxes, and you kind of have a one-way for the Ts. And BNE, some solid fundamentals working out. And for the side of Eternal Fire, is going to be just the save. Couple of rifles and pistols all around. Emor oh, he misses it! He misses it. That is so unfortunate. One Flatro with a little of a jiggle peek, and that should be the round, Vince. They have the B bomb site. The bomb is heading in that direction. And if I'm Eternal Fire, I am holding on to those two rifles as hard as I can.
That does appear to be the state of affairs right now. They're going to be bodyguarding each other as well, trying to make sure that they can at least lock this one down, make sure they keep their rifles in play. Nice shooting from Synopsy. Oof. That's some brisk headshots from the AK-47. And in doing so, that has also taken away and alleviated one of the rifles to being played into the next round. So it'll just hamper Eternal Fire that little bit more. And xFloud trying to hold on to this AK-47 may become a little bit too tentative to deal with because his partner in crime, Voxic, is so close to death, but still comes out ahead onto one Flatro, and that's his second rifle that could get picked up. I doubt he'll survive with this because one bullet through that doors pretty much signifies the end of Voxic's life. And if that molly doesn't make sense, he may be able to get away with this one. No, he gets wall banged out from GXX, and Bad News Eagles take the 2-round lead and break down that economy. A buy could be coming in, but again, keep in mind, there is not enough for an AWP in the hands of Woxic.
Yeah, this was just kind of almost a full save for Fire around the rifle, without stealing away those two guns. Definitely makes things more painful. That is just ridiculous from GXX. Great shot there. Just a one saved rifle. The AK-47 in the hands of xFloud. The remaining members, though, like you said, the lack of an AWP, and even though the utility, it's not that great here. Zantaris being a little bit more aggressively towards short by his lonesome, and they have opted to just relinquish control of long. And you can hear Synopsy hear the jump from Zantaris, and he's going to be tagged down, and looking for the hunt is Synopsy, but he will be taken down by Zantaris. But that's the call to go for this fast hit towards mid to B, and what a shot by Regon, and he's going to find one Flutter with the second, and that's a B bomb site wrested away by BNE. Round after round, they're just stealing this one away from Eternal Fire.
I do not think Eternal Fire want to go for this one again. I think that is going to be yet another save. Although GXX has put down the frag onto Zantaris, so that is going to make things a little bit more spicy for the next round for Eternal Fire, because their money again is super low. Again, they're just doing their best to hold on to weapons, and this has been the consistent issue, right? But like Eternal Fire, they get into rounds, it's kind of somewhat close. They lose that one important duel, the site's gone, they're forced to save. This has now happened the last 3 or 4 rounds in a row, and until Eternal Fire can just take control, grab this game by the scruff of the neck and make it theirs, I think they're just going to slowly lose out from this point.
And even individually speaking as well, sure, one Flatro has been a little flat thus far, but some of these openings, that shot by Regon towards a player in car was just insane. And just fast-paced calls coming from BNE. And Eternal Fire just getting caught out, just getting caught on rotations, not really being in a comfortable spot there. You can see that B hold, they were not in the positions they wanted to be in. And BNE just being a couple of steps ahead of this Turkish side. Of course, once more with the save rifles, they will be able to buy around it. Utility will be reasonable. Calyx, though, just has to make do with the one solitary smoke, and for X-Flout as well. For Woxic, though, he's got his hands on an AWP. We kept talking about Woxic, Vince. We spoke about it, his AWPing prowess, what we've seen him do in the years gone by, especially on this map, and especially on the CD side as well, if memory serves me right. So if there was ever a time for him to really start to come alive and deliver, like how Synopsy has been doing thus far in this matchup for BNE, now is the time, because right now they're trailing 12-9. Again, the opening matchup, still a lot of games remaining, but you want to go into the next stage with that 1-0 lead.
Absolutely. We already painted the picture of how important that is when you have teams like G2, Liquid, you got Ents in here as well. If they have a bad start, like you may be running into one of those teams, and that effectively puts you down, if we're being honest, to like 0-2 right off the bat. This game is of paramount importance to both teams. And right now, Eternal Fire, they had their comeback in the first half, so we can say they maybe can do it again. But this is a very different situation. That was the T side, we can be a bit more fluid. CT side, you have to be a bit more reactive. Good smoke down onto long, forces Synopsy away. Some great opportunities for Flatro, but he's not able to collapse. Onto that AK-47, Woxic in the meanwhile, speak of the man, and he will deliver through the smoke, no less, onto Synopsy through and long.
The timing of that, I don't even think you saw a barrel from Synopsy. But that's a huge find. Again, Eternal Fire, they're able to get this early kills towards long, but BNE immediately pivoted back towards the B bomb site. And they've been finding a lot of success here. This time around, still a lot of time to work with for BNE, as they're all grouping up together here. And it does feel like it's going to be once more a mid-to-B play, at least looking at the posturing here. They have the double smokes, the left and right smokes towards the mid-to-B area. Not going to show anything, though. A lot of presence being shown by BNE, confusing the Eternal Fire members. And that means right now, Xantares is going to be holding towards CD spawn, leaving just 2 defenders on the B bomb site, and no presence from the CTs towards mid.
That smoke is feeling like it will last forever. As it stands, the grenade was also tossed in. Minimal damage, though, negligible onto Regon and Flatro. Maybe coming in. Regon is so low alongside Flatro, but they both come out with headshots alongside Senary. And just like that, again, Eternal Fire lose the duels. They lose the sight, and it's back to another save. It's deja vu again.
It's insane. It's actually insane how BNE are able to somehow just out-duel their opposition, just walking. That shot from Synopsy, I want to see that again on the replay, slowed down, like zoomed in, black and white, whatever effects you want to throw into the replay, because that was just absolutely pristine. And for Eternal Fire, right, they had 5 members alive. It's a 5 versus 4, but because of the amount of utility being deployed by BNE all over the map, we had the mid-to-B smokes. And therefore, one of the B defenders had to be focused on the fact that someone might be sneaking up from mid. You had Xantares in CD spawn, thinking it might be an A drop coming in from short. There was so much misinformation just from utility being deployed by Eternal Fire that by BNE, that Eternal Fire were kind of caught in 2 minds. But still, they still had 2 defenders on the B bomb site, and somehow they don't get a single kill. The 2 players walking the tunnels, they were down to 10 HP combined, and somehow they stay alive. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was Flatro and Synopsy both got obliterated by the Arch player. And how many times have we been in positions now where it looks like Eternal Fire are in good spots to just win the round out? If that spray goes a different way, he picks up 2 frags there. Even if he gets traded 2 for 1, it feels like it's a done deal at that stage, and we can move on to the next round. And yet, no kills are forthcoming. Eternal Fire let another opportunity slip through their fingers. Let's be honest here. It's a 13-9 victory so far for Bad News Eagles, and there's been some really good moments. But they've also been vulnerable multiple times, and Eternal Fire, simply put, have not taken their chances.
Eternal Fire haven't won a single buy round here in the second half. The CD side defense has just been floundering, and Bad News Eagles, they're just cleaving to this defense. They're just having good reads, some good rotations coming out, on-the-fly calling. I'm actually impressed. This is like, sure, it's a little bit of a puggier style of CS coming out from BNE, but it's very effective, and I'm not seeing too many flaws here, as Woxic once again looking to take the duel early on, but he's getting hounded, chased down. A great return flash from his compatriot in the form of, I do believe that was Calyx, keeping them at bay with a flash of his own. We can see BNE, they're heading to the A-bomb site though, but Xantares this time around will come out on top, spotting the shadow of Synopsy, but that's not going to slow BNE. They're making the way towards this A-bomb site.
Yeah, this has been their mantra the entire time, is push, 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 get aggressive. Calyx around the smoke has given his position away now, does get one through the smoke, and it's the bomb carrier. Huge frag for Eternal Fire, but they've been in these situations so many times where they were the favorites, and they've let them slip. Flatro playing around the smoke, looking to sneak his way in, and he's bought up a little bit of space for himself. He's waiting, but there's Emor looking up, anticipating that play. 500 IQ from Emor, and that will yield them their first buy round and their double digits. Surely GXX is not going to get this done, although he does have 50 seconds, but that may work against him because he's about to get flanked. And he's got a knife out, and he is a dead man.
He's a dead man, and then AWP, a double up? They already have Voxic on the AWP, so maybe a double up setup might come into play. That was B&E trying to mix things up, you know, just going for a pretty one-dimensional play there towards long. You can see them trying to hunt down Voxic. This is important though. Synopsy getting taken down by Xantares, who hasn't really finding too much success towards Cat with his aggression, right? So he gets a kill over there, and now the rest of his teammates can just focus, be hyper-focused towards long. Great hole coming out there. And for B&E, they tried something a little different this time, something a little bit more simplistic, and unfortunately, it didn't quite pan out. Now they're back once more to their standard default, just waiting, holding, and looking for Eternal Fire to make a mistake, to make a misstep, and catch them off guard.
It has been a very scrappy, tentative game of both of these teams. Understandably, it's the first game of the major. This is where jitters come in, where you start to second guess yourself. Now we've seen a couple of mistakes, a couple of flubs, a couple of whiff sprays if we're being honest, but it has been an entertaining game so far. Bad News Eagles slowing down the pace, just dialing it back a couple of notches, and now starting to take a little bit of control over Catwalk.
The double nade from Xantares, we've seen him find a lot of success with it. As Calyx is pushing so deep in Synopsy, once again, his grave will be towards the long doors. Losing that man, like Synopsy's kind of lurk, right? And the moment he gets taken down, suddenly the options for B&E gets whittled down to just a couple of avenues, and they're going to be going for this play here. 47 seconds on the clock, the smokes will be deployed. This time though, there's 3 defenders for the side of Eternal Fire.
Not just their look, but their top fragger as well, Blair. That's firepower they're going to be sorely missing out on. Drop down, Glam Flatro around the back, but there's Voxic bodyguarding Xantares, who is down to 1 HP. That single digit keeps him alive to pull back another kill and close the curtain on Regon. Counter frag is there, but it's a 2-on-4 with 20 seconds to spare. Surely Eternal Fire can't lose this round. We've seen them let some howlers slip through their fingers, but this one has to go in their way. They've yielded the bomb plant, but a lot of damage done onto Senary through that Molotov and a flash on top of it. And now Eternal Fire looking to try and tighten that nuke. They come in, spray is off from Calyx. GXX goes in with one. It's an awkward fight, and he will go down to the hands of Emor. Eternal Fire get their 11th. They are keeping this game alive.
That was an unwinnable round there, the 2 versus 4. Just unwinnable, and just great work overall. I like the attempt from GXX. He finds one, lands a no-scope onto Emor, unfortunately through the edge of the box, and not quite able to confirm the kill, dealing a bit more damage, but signs of life, a faint pulse for the side of Eternal Fire as they manage to string a couple of rounds here back-to-back. Again, this A-hit from the side of B&E not quite panning out. Earlier, we saw him go for a faster, more one-dimensional hit. This time around, this was, I feel like, a bit of a mistake, might say, for B&E, allowing Calyx to sneak his way through towards long, catching Synopsy. And like as we pointed out earlier, the moment you lose Synopsy, their options are so just whittled down. Now you're like, okay, we have no information towards tunnels, we have no information towards long, we have no control over there. What do we have? We have 40 seconds. We have control of short. We need to go for the play, and Eternal Fire more than ready. Still a 2-round deficit for Eternal Fire to kind of swipe away. And for B&E though, a bit of a streak, bit of that momentum. I feel like it's been kind of dwindled a little bit in the past couple of rounds.
It's almost mirrored the first half. A 6-1 lead, and then Eternal Fire started to make a comeback. They started to make a couple of reads, and they put the little changes into effect. And we're starting to see the same thing come up here as well. The dual AWP setup has been solid for Eternal Fire as well. It's been Bad News Eagles on their tiptoes. No aggression through long this time for Calyx. And a bit of a stalemate to kick things off. Not for a lack of trying though. Both teams are tossing in all their utility towards middle, but no players have fallen as of yet.
Xantares, Utilizing everything he's got in that bat belt, that bat utility belt of his. And now the nade as well, a little too deep. Oh no, never mind. It's still going to deal a lot of damage to the GXX. Once more, the play is going to be coming too short. The flashback is perfect. Regon is going to find Xantares. It's one flutter plus Woxic. And now Emor and Xplot having a lot of work to do, which they will. They're going to find two. And suddenly, it's a 3v3. But look at the health on two of the members of BNE.
Exactly, these two kills are
That
everything,
smoke.
and it keeps this stream alive. It keeps this round on his tiptoes, and now Zenary has to try and hold the line, and he does just that. X-Cloud is put down, but all three players now 50 or below on HP. Calyx removes the head of GXX, and Emor goes from strength to strength. Zenary now on 6 HP has got to try and stave this away from a path of loss, and although he gets one, there's the counter frag, and there's a 12th round for the Turkish team.
Oh, what a retake there, Vince. They get those two opening kills. That is so massive for BNE, and finally they find a bomb site. But then the two rotators from the B bomb site, I'm not even sure how X-Cloud finds that second kill on the retake, but just well done in the end. It's a great drop down from Regon finding Xantares, right? And then the retake is on. Snary even finding the kill for the player coming out from short, but Calyx and Emor perfectly timing that double peek as well in the scenario. There's not much you could do from that particular position. And with that 13-12 Eternal Fire, they are back. But GXX, he's going to just absolutely wreck X-Cloud through the double doors as Woxic. He's trying to land a flick, and that is absolute filth from Woxic. He gets the trade, and that is a Woxic we need to see if Eternal Fire want to take this.
I didn't even realize he'd registered he'd seen him.
It's only the kill feed. I just saw the kill feed. I'm like, he got that?
Oh my god. Okay, Woxic. It may have taken him 25, 26 rounds to get to that level, but he's reached it now. He needs his teammates to keep this one as closed off as possible on the A-long side. Smokes being deployed. Full wall has been built in, and they're going to be pushing behind that one. Flatro, not for the first time, trying to get some shenanigans on the smoke. Here comes the break from Synopsy. 2 kills. Blink continue to miss the last 4 frags. They just all fall down. And Bad News Eagles have put an end to that rot of rounds.
I don't even know how they won that round, but more importantly, Vince, look at the money. Look at the money for Eternal Fire. Even though they went on the 3-round streak, considering how many players they hemorrhage, and that, oh. These shots from both GXX and Woxic pure filth, but they just capitulated. That defense just fell apart, and it's only a couple of players with money. And BNE, they know this. They know they have Eternal Fire against the ropes, because this buy is it. If they lose this round, if they're not able to hold on to the M4 and the AWP, if they do lose this round, it's over. They have nothing to work with, and BNE, they know they have that advantage, but look at the aggression coming out here. Regon, he hears this. He knows where the players are, and this is wild from Eternal Fire. They're pushing in deep here, and Emor, how does one flutter flop that? He had no business not getting that kill, Vince.
How the hell is Emor still alive? He's got another smoke as well that he's now tossed in. He's just being such a nuisance, comes through that smoke, won't get the frag, but look how long he stalled the rest of the team. They have no forward momentum, they have no real estate on the map whatsoever.
They're shook. They're shook. Firstly, they lose GXX to just an insane shot coming out from Woxic, and then, yeah, just shenanigans, sheer shenanigans from Emor. And the fact that he's even able to find one kill, and as you pointed out, delay them for so very long is so massive. This is a must-win round for both teams. For BNE, because it could completely, absolutely dismantle the economy for Eternal Fire. And for Eternal Fire, if they don't win this, they will have nothing to work with heading to the next round. So they need this round, both of these two teams. And right now, advantage for Eternal Fire. 33 seconds on the clock, and we have BNE just marching towards a bomb site, but it's all a ruse. It's all a fake by Synopsy.
So much damage through the smoke, but his 2 teammates have died. Regon's gone down on the side as well, and Woxic is still alive with the AWP. He may be missing a bunch of shots, but there's a smoke in their eyes, so this round is done. Eternal Fire live to fight another day. Bad News Eagles, though, their money is still in good enough shape with this saved AK to put another buy into effect. But Eternal Fire are hanging on for dear life. As you said, Blair, they were literally down to the last lifeline, but they made it work.
And not just that, look at the weapon upgrades they're getting here, right? They picked up an AK-47, they keep both the AWP and the M4 in play, and I do believe the final MP9, no, it didn't get upgraded, but that's fine. They survived that scare. It wasn't a great buy at all, and Emor, I mean, I don't think he's going to attempt to do something as ludicrous again this round, but it did definitely catch Bad News Bears off guard. What a shot from Woxic. We said this guy If it comes alive, things could get very interesting indeed, and things have indeed gotten extremely interesting. Even the final kill he gets there, that was a pretty good attempt at the fake, but as long as Woxic's alive in that particular position with the AWP, things weren't going to be going easy for BNE, and just like that, BNE, they're going to go for a light bite. And I like this, they haven't gone for the force bite, but it's going to be a full B commit coming in.
X-Clown has to try and hold on for dear life, using the smoke, using the flashes to his advantage, but when Flatro through with that MAC-10,
Not like
just
this.
puts him down, and like that, Eternal Fire in trouble again. Do they go for this retake?
Decisions to make. These are not easy decisions to make. Now they can. It's a 4 versus 4. They've taken out GXX to look, and now they're going to be making their way in. Utility favoring them. They have the AW in the hands of Woxic, though. Not ideal for a retake like this. And here it comes down to this retake by Eternal Fire.
They've got some nades, they've got a couple of incendiaries, and now tossing them out, just clearing up those angles, just narrowing down where these players could be. Time is of the essence to go, and the spray is so good, so on point, that Woxic, try as he may to just somehow salvage this round, did not have enough time regardless. And Bad News Eagles know the importance of that round. As they cheer, they move to 2 match points.
I swear I can hear them, Vince. I know we're wearing these headphones, we're far, far away from where the players are playing. I swear I could hear them just roar right now after that round. That is such an important round to win, and it was just a B hit. Just an all-out, no time being wasted B hit. They had a Tech 9s, they had a Eagle, they had that MAC-10, and with the mobility afforded to them by the SMGs and the pistol, to just swarm the bomb site. And just the B defender, he needed to get at least 1 kill over there. Unfortunately, he was isolated, got taken down. You can see BNE, they're fired up. They're so fired up. And look at this buy. Oh, this is so rough for Eternal Fire. Couple of scouts coming out, a Deagle, an M4A1, and a FAMAS, and barely any utility. 3 smokes, 3 flashbangs. Not even a singular kit for any of the CTs. This is rough. And for BNE, this is the golden opportunity to go 1-0 up in the challenger stage. As I say that, Emor with the scout, he's going to decapitate Phenopsy.
Hell of a shot, and what an important moment to bust that one out as well. When Flatro, though, comes back with 2 of his own, and it's that B-side again. 3 kills before Woxic puts him down. He's finally come alive. We were asking the questions, and he's starting to deliver. However, it's a 2v3 stacked against BNE. Haven't gone for the plan just yet. They've got well over a minute to play with. Now they go into the plan. Here comes the push, but Santares shuts down Seneri, and GXX is trying to hold on with this AK, but he's been tagged down to 29 HP. The bomb is planted for him, but there's a smoke, and that could just be the golden ticket. Try and bait out some shots. Can he line this up? They're sticking down on the defuse. He comes through the smoke. They've come off the defuse, actually. He's doing such a good job of stalling them, but then they stick it, and they will have their 14th round, and they will survive yet again.
I can't believe the manager pulled that one off. I cannot believe Eternal Fire made that work. Again, when it looks like, it looks like it's not going to be happening, we see some... How does he even see him? He can't even see him in one flat throw. He finds almost everyone on the B bomb site, even finding a teammate. But in the end, that one smoke they're able to salvage from one of the fallen, I guess, teammates or one of the fallen Ts, able to prevent GXX from trying to prevent bomb from getting planted. We come down to it, Vince. A missed shot by GXX, and Woxic will punish him. 4 versus 5, man advantage for Eternal Fire as they're looking to take us to OT.
Oh, I'm so down for this. OT in our first game of the major?
Hell yeah.
Sign me up. But it's not just yet. They can't take their eyes off this one. The round could still fall prey to BNE. How many times have they won rounds from being a player, 2-player deficit? However, they're being stalled out here. And it's a kind of pick and mix across the board. Not all 4 together. They're taking 2 down on middle. It suggests it could be more of a catwalk-centered push.
Right now, long doors though, in complete control of Eternal Fire. Calyx is going to post himself up there, while Woxic is going to take his trusty AWP all the way towards the car position. Now, they have no one deep inside towards Scat, as he pointed out. That means that's free real estate for BNE for the taking. But first, they're going to go for that ruse again towards mid. Is it a ruse or is it going to go for the full commit? It is a ruse indeed. We have one player trying to sell it, Synopsy. Once more the lurk. Meanwhile, the remaining players making their way up towards short. But Woxic, once more the turret of death. He's going to find one and the second, and it's a 2v4.
Man, this Woxic has just come alive this game. He's still alive, but no one. Flatro removes his head. 30 seconds to play with the bomb. It's still out in the open. They need to go pick this one up. They know they're vulnerable to being pushed from Catwalk, hence the Molotov. 20 seconds, One Flatro down to 10 HP, so very low. They can wait out this Molotov, and One Flatro would still be a little bit vulnerable, but with that smoke, it affords him a shield. A little bit of sanctity to just pull back, a bit of reprieve, and now it's down to the CTs to push on in. One Flatro missing his shots, down to 8 now, somehow, still alive, waiting for this rotation play to come in, and here comes Synopsy. First headshot delivered, there's the second, and the first game goes the way of Bad News Eagle.
Let that sink in, Vince. Just look at them. Just look at how much it means to them. And what a flank. What a flank by Synopsy. Round number 30. Your teammate, he's planting the bomb all alone on the A bomb site. And he's so low.